From Doherty High School, welcome to the District 11 Channel High School Volleyball Pregame Show. I'm Rachel Wolf. Tonight's matchup in the 5A Colorado Springs Metro League features the Palmer Terrors against the defending state champion Doherty Spartans. The Terrors come in with 11 wins and 7 losses and a league record of 0-2. Sydney Versenar leads the Terror attack with 181 kills and 20 service points. The Spartans, in their bid to repeat as state champions, stand 11-3 on the season and defeated the Rampart Rams in 5 games to win their only league match to date. Doherty graduated 8 members of last year's championship team, but are led by the senior duo Haley Washington and Gabby Simpson. The volleyball regular season is coming to a close with just over 2 weeks remaining. All teams must complete their schedules with a maximum of 23 matches by October 26th. In some classifications, league tournaments are getting underway while some squads will compete in invitational tournaments to tune up for regional play. The 3A, 4A, and 5A regionals will feature a 36-team field, and league championship automatically qualify to the top regional seeds. The remaining qualifiers will be seeded by committee using the website MaxPreps and their Freeman ranking system. The CHSAA seeding committee will make adjustments only in case of splitting up league opponents and geographical considerations. Teams will be placed 12-3 team pools, and only the pool winners advance to the state tournament. Now a quick look at the latest standings. The 4A Pikes Peak League regular season championship could be decided October 15th when Lewis Palmer and Cheyenne Mountain do battle on the Indians' home floor at Cheyenne Mountain High School. Coronado enters the 4A CSML tournament as the number 1 seed and host. In the next week, the Cougars face Mitchell Woodland Park and Mesa Ridge, all at the Coronado Gym, before closing the regular season with Cheyenne Mountain. Doherty leads the 5A CSML and will face the heart of their league schedule this week before closing out the regular season at the Cheyenne Mountain Indian Invitational. We are just moments away from high school volleyball here on the District 11 channel. I'm Rachel Wolf. Thank you for tuning in to the pregame show. Now let's turn it over to Doherty PA announcer and athletic director Chris Knoll to welcome the crowd. Then it's off to Barry Reed and Walt Johnson for the call of tonight's action.
Tonight's 5A Colorado Springs Metro League action between the Palmer Terrors and the Doherty Spartans. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand? Gentlemen, remove your hats for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem. The colors tonight will be presented by the Doherty High School Navy Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Color Guard under the command of Cadet Spencer Allen. The Color Guard is composed of lead rifle Cadet Sarah Stackhouse, Colorado State Flag Cadet Corinne Estes, U.S. Flag and Commander Cadet Spencer Allen, Navy JROTC Flag Cadet Jera Means, and Trailing Rifle Cadet Jacob LaForce. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand at attention until the colors leave the floor. Thank you. Now for tonight's lineups. First for the Palmer Terrors, number 1, Katie Sutton. Number 3, Emily Watson. Number 5, Andrea Dell. Number 6, Janie Struss. Number 7, Micah Martins. Number 8, Kristen Moore. Number 9, Sydney Resnar. Number 10, Brianna Cantras. Number 11, Shania Jarrett. Number 15, Renee Perry. And number 16, Lane Hoke. Terrors are coached by Sergio Rengel. Now for your Doherty Sparks, coached by Miss Tara Hiddle. Number 1, Lyria Brook. Number 2, Rachel Stade. Number 3, Gabby Simpson. Number 6, Cassie Sherman. Number 7, Gina Bongiorno. Number 8, Lindsay Porter. Number 9, Kiara Olson. Number 10, Kaylee Boosinger. Number 11, Erilyn Meyer. Number 12, Kelsey Schneider. And number 15, Taylor Barrett.
Welcome to Sparta, everybody. It is the crosstown rivalry between the Terrors and the Spartans, and partner coming in here, talking with Sergio Rangel down in the tunnels here at the Doherty Gym. Pretty confident about his team. They've been playing hard, but they've hit a rough patch, just 4-4 in their last 8 matches. But even though they're 11-7, still a shot at making the playoffs, but they have got to run a rough week schedule ahead. Fountain Fort Carson is ahead, Doherty tonight, obviously, and Pine Creek on their schedule.
Yeah, partner, I'll tell you, the one thing you like when you talk to Sergio Rangel before the game, he is supremely confident that this atmosphere and this game is not going to overwhelm his team. They're ready. They're ready to play as well as they can play, and he's expecting them to come out and play a very good volleyball game tonight, as am I.
Look at the other side of the coin. The Doherty Spartans, 11-3 on the year. Their last 2 losses to the number 1 teams at 5A and 4A. Fossil Ridge has ascended its way undefeated to the top of the 5A rankings, and then Cheyenne Mountain, the top 4A team in the state of Colorado. So you can't say much, but I guess the question has to come in. With 8 graduating players from last year's championship team, is there enough fire in the Doherty Spartans to carry it on? We don't question Haley Washington. We don't question Gabby Simpson. We don't question Rachel Stade, one of the other seniors, nor Kaylee Boosinger. But it's that under crew that came in. It's like, are they, do they have the mindset that the seniors who were juniors last year have this year? We are underway. Palmer with the serve. Gabby Simpson with a little dink.
And to answer your question on that, I mean, that's the first point by Palmer. To answer your question, until you're exposed to that environment, you don't know how they're going to react. Here's a good chance to see how they're going to react, because if you'll notice, there's a very important player for Doherty that's missing tonight. We'll get into that in a second.
There's a 6'3" hole in that Doherty lineup. As my partner just mentioned, Haley Washington took a trip back to Penn State where she is verbally committed. And she got stuck in air traffic on the east side, and here is an ace served up by the Spartans, Rachel Stade. And we are tied it is 2-1 Spartans.
I've traveled
here in the early going of game number 1.
I've traveled on the East Coast, partner. It's easy to get lost in the East Coast. Oh, nice play at the net. Oh, my.
Lindsay Porter, the junior middle blocker, 5'9", able to put that one off the top of the net for the point.
And I wonder if the Doherty student section is ready for this one, partner.
Doherty making some noise here. The feed over to Gabby Simpson. And too many hits into the net coming out.
Well, I think it'll call a carry, actually. Yeah, he called
a carry by Palmer. And there is the other weapon. So instead of Doherty having its two-headed monster, it might be down to one, but that's still a pretty impressive monster.
Well, yeah.
And hopefully Rick and Serena will forgive me for calling one of their children a monster, but I mean it in the physical dominating sense.
They know what you meant, trust me. There are a few coaches that have a few names for them too, the way they play. Excellent players.
(4-2) here in the early going. Spartans controlling, and that went into that Spartan student section. And speaking of Spartan students, how about our pregame host, Rachel Wolf? Not only does she handle our pregame for us, but she is at the north end of the stadium on the front row in the cheering. You notice all the pink. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there is a kill off the net. Kelsey Snyder, the junior, with the point.
Sergio Rangel wanted 2 hits on that last play, partner. I don't know if I saw that. But for some reason, he was up asking for a 2-hit violation on that one. Not sure I saw that.
How big is this crosstown rivalry? I see our boss, Dr. Nicholas Gleditch, down to our right at the north end of the gym. He's got a Palmer ball cap on and a Doherty shirt on. So playing no favorites, but enjoying the action here. Palmer brings it back within 1 at 4, serving 5.
How's that for playing it right down the middle, huh?
Lane Hoke, the senior libero, with the serve. Back set to Gabby Simpson. And Simpson a little bit long.
Oh boy, the fans are getting into it, partner.
And the Palmer student section has taken its feet as we are tied up here at 5, our second tie of the game. Back set coming, dug out on the hit by Emily Watson.
Oh, nice play at the net.
Shania Jarrett with the block, picked up by Doherty. Gabby Simpson, don't leave it that close to the net. When Simpson is in the vicinity, she will make you pay. Tara Hiddle liking that one, standing at the end of her bench, calling plays.
You can't teach 6'3", partner. That's what that is.
Jarrett with the next hit. Through the double block and over. This time the block, and Palmer unable to come up with it. For the Spartans, Businger. That was Businger and Barrett teaming up on the block. Tara Hiddle a little bit stealth with her calls of the serve. Blocking her hand motions. Tipped by the Spartans and out of bounds, point to the Terrors. Seven, 6. 6 serving 7 as the Terrors fall back. Micah Martins with the serve. Down the line and misses to the right a little bit.
Hit Coach Hiddle right in the shoulder.
Both of these coaches standing, working their respective crews. Snyder with the serve for the Spartans. The back quick set, tipped on the block and out of bounds. Palmer back within 1 at 8-7. So a very tight first game. Now substitution on the Palmer side. Renee Perry out and Kristen Moore, one of the captains, is in. Gabby Simpson will set the near side. Big blast. Too much power on it. Give the point to Stottie, the senior. And that's a thing that Palmer cannot take advantage of, or cannot take for granted. Gabby Simpson is still a great setter.
Oh, yes.
Don't think that she's going to be the sole hitter tonight, because her role the last couple of years has been to set the big hitters as well as come up with the big hits on her own. And off of the side antenna, that'll be a point to the Spartan and stop the run.
And to piggyback on your point, partner, one of the things that college coaches are going to look at, they know that she's an outstanding athlete. Gabby, Haley Washington, they know they're outstanding athletes. But they want to see how they're going to transition to the next level. And at the next level, they're going to have to know how to do that. And credit Tara, as a point for Palmer, and credit Tara Hiddle for teaching these young ladies how to be complete players and not just one-dimensional.
Middle blocker Lindsay Porter getting up, but it was a little bit too much. 10-8 in favor of the Spartans. This one high and into the Doherty bench, saved, and somehow, and Sergio Rangel got his call as that ball followed the trajectory. Tara Hiddle with a big smile on her face. She knows. Sergio Rangel pacing with a serious. The trajectory of that ball from the Doherty bench to the Palmer sideline came outside the near antenna. And now an unforced service error on the Terrors and a substitution as Lane Hope checks back in, and Emma Watson, the 5'8 senior, gets a breather on the bench. 11-9 is our score. Through the block is Stottie. And Rachel Stottie making her presence felt in the absence of Haley Washington. 41 kills coming into the night. That is third on this team behind Washington's 318 and Simpson's 91.
Well, she's a senior partner. She's been around this program long enough to know there's another point for Doherty.
Miscommunication on the pass for the Terrors. That pass was behind Kristen Moore.
She's been around this program long enough to know how to take care of business.
Three straight for the Spartans. They'll serve leading 13-9. And that one blasted a little bit long. Kylie Brusinger. Quick set at the net and an easy blast. Hope couldn't handle it for Palmer.
Actually, they're going to call Doherty in the net.
In the net on the follow-through. The back set a little bit too far forward. And it'll be out of bounds on the Palmer side. Palmer back within one at 12, serving 13. Andrea Dell to the ground, but it'll be point for the Terrors, or point for the Spartans.
Now Jarrett found herself going up against Gabby Simpson, and that was quite a mismatch, actually.
Quick set. Quick hit for Palmer off Contreras. There is a carry on the Terrors. Brianna Contreras reaching out to try to pop it up. Gets caught for the carry. 15-12 now for the Spartans. Set into the middle for the back attack, and it'll be long. So Spartans with as many miscues by the Terrors, back to a 4-point advantage here in game one. We'll play best of 5 if necessary. And the back set.
Might be getting close to a timeout for Palmer. I think he's going to call it right now, too. Yeah, he's going to
Sergio
call it.
Rangel wants his timeout right now. 17-12. Palmer had pulled back within one at 12-13. But now 4 straight by the Spartans. And it is 17-12. And we talked with Sergio Rangel before the game. And he said that mental errors. The girls are starting to get, but haven't quite gotten that this game, how mental this game is, and every little detail, every little step is so important. And if they can clean up some of those mental errors, they'll be right back where they were, starting 7-3 on the season.
But understand too, partner, this Palmer program has come a long way from when Sergio took over.
Oh yeah, it's been an uphill ascension.
And they are still on the uptick. That's part of the learning process. That's part of that learning curve that they're going to have to get to in order to be a state champion like the Spartans. And they've got some players on the freshman and JV team next year. I'll tell you what, next year, Palmer may be the team to look out for. They've got some players coming up, partner. Very senior-heavy team this year, but they've got some players coming into the grapevine.
The double block by Simpson and Porter.
Oh, wow.
And then the blast. Point Spartans. 18-12 is the advantage now.
Gabby Clemson has some real bad intentions when she hit that ball, partner.
Quick set in the middle, and this one ties up the Spartans. Cassie Sherwood. Yeah, Cassie Sherman.
That's going to be tipped. That'll be Doherty. A point for Doherty, partner. That was tipped going out.
Doherty opening it up now, 19-13. The lead is 6.
I love the pink shirts that the Spartans are sporting tonight, partner, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Perry checks back in for Palmer. Lila Brock with the serve. Dug out by the Terrors, but unable to get a second hit to it.
Somebody has an artificial noisemaker in the gym, and that's not allowed under CHSAA rules.
Simpson with the save on the far side, now over by Brock.
Point for Palmer, partner. They tipped that one out.
Brooke trying to chase it down on the near side in front of the Spartans bench, unable to get to it. 20-14, the time is stemmed just a little bit. Hope with the serve, there is the blast. They set up Taylor Barrett on the near side, and she puts it down inside of the Palmer block. 21-14 in favor of the Spartans. And Simpson back to serve.
Oh, Most a great save.
Versenar with the initial hit. Passed it over to Jarrett, and then Jarrett had to make a dive for it.
Just couldn't get enough lift on it.
22-14 now. And Jarrett a little bit low, trying to power it through the block. 23-14. Versenar with the hit and the point. Doherty scrambling around on the back line just a little bit.
One thing you know, both these teams are going to lay out for this thing tonight, partner. They both want to come out with victory.
The student section have come out tonight. The coaches are into this game. And the players realize this crosstown rivalry. And the little dunk shot, an easy kill.
Now earlier,
put down by Kelsey Snyder.
Earlier you mentioned that the boss is here, Dr. Gleditsch, the superintendent. Here's something you won't see after tonight. Both the Palmer and Doherty women's coaches are here and they're sitting together. Dave Shackelford and Pat McCurdy in the north corner of the gym sitting together.
For the girls basketball.
Girls basketball, right.
Bersenar with the block. She teams with Emily Watson. And the seniors team up for the block. 16 serving 24 here. Another game point in game one. Simpson with the set. And a little bit wide. Simpson set Stotty, who's had a good first game here, but that one she was unable to steer down the near sideline. Simpson with a quick set, and this one finds the far corner. Lane Hope reaches for it, but unable to come up with it. And that was Taylor Barrett with the final kill in game one. Our final of game one, Doherty 25, Palmer 17. We will switch ends of the floor and get ready to play game number two. This gives us a chance to remind you that if you'd like to own a copy of this or any of the exciting action we bring you here on the District 11 channel, 3 ways to do it. By email at channel16@d11.org. You can give us a phone call to 520-2269. Or you can order online. Log on to www.d11.org. Click on the bottom of the page in the quick links section for D11 on TV. And then in the upper left, you will see the link for the order form. You can also find the link for our live streaming. So if it's on the District 11 channel, it is streamed on our website. Tomato, but it will be on the District 11 website, and we have enjoyed some viewers from around the country and around the world with deployed families that we have had. It's a great way for us to offer a chance for loved ones to watch their student athletes at play.
Speaking of student athletes at play, partner, we've got a good one tomorrow night. We've got the 7-0 Coronado Cougars coming into Gary Berry Stadium, and Lewis Palmer's coming down to see if they can offer some opposition. But boy, I tell you, that Coronado bunch, they have been very good this year.
We had a chance to talk with Joa and Sam Smith, the twins, and the offensive and defensive leaders for that Cougar squad. And we'll be able to hear their comments during the game. And, of course, Lewis Palmer, Tony Romano's crew down just a little bit this year after finishing 4-1 in league last year and just missing the playoffs. Off to a 2-5 start this year.
Well, they lost a lot, both football and basketball. Football they can't recover from, but that Lewis Palmer basketball squad is still going to be a little special this year. They got some kids coming in that'll play some good basketball up there.
And there are 2 Scots on this team, mentioning Lewis Palmer and basketball. Josh and Jordan have 2 little brothers, and they are both on this team, Joe and John. So the Scott family tradition from Monument and Lewis Palmer sports still in full effect there. But it's going to be a fun one tomorrow night at Gary Berry Stadium. The pregame show starts at 6:45.
Let me tell you something scary, partner. The youngest Scott may be the best of all of them. He may be the better athlete of all of them. And the other ones are pretty good athletes. So that's a little scary to think about.
Doherty will lead to start off game 2. Kaylee Businger back to do the serving duties.
A long shot on that sideline. Almost got it in.
I was looking to see if they might call a touch on that one on the Spartans, but no. And the Spartans on top by the score of 1-0. Businger with 151 serves had 28 aces. And just 19 service errors. Simpson just has to dump it over. Up for the block, off the net, and up and over and out of bounds. So Spartan point, 2-0. You see the Spartan offense in that last set working away from Gabby Simpson.
And I think that's by design, too. I'll tell you why in a second.
Ball handled by Jarrett on a ball that looked to be out into the net on the first pass.
Now, maybe I'm giving Tara Hero a little too much credit here, partner. But I think with Haley Washington out of the lineup tonight, that's long. Point for Palmer, that first of the game. She may be saying, okay, this is how may need to play in the playoffs if she's not here. Let's not be too heavy leaning on Gabby Simpson. Let's play this type of game, get it on film so we can see how well the girls played this one. That's a hot shot by Simpson.
Versenar with a great save, played it off to the ceiling. That ball just a little bit long on the hit.
The Palmer fans don't think so. The Palmer fans think that was in.
It was in. I don't know if we have that one to look at on the replay, but Palmer pulls within 2. Back set for Jarrett. And Simpson gets behind it instead of on top of it and drives it straight down the middle instead of getting any downforce on it. Now 4 serving 2. Palmer with the kill as we go back and forth here. That one comes a little bit too strong in the net, and Cantrez able to hammer it home. Cantrez showing some good hops there in the middle.
Seen a different Terror team out there in the start of this second game here, partner.
We saw 2 ties in the first game, and now Gabby Simpson says,
enough of
my
that.
turn. Drawing the raucous applause of the Spartan faithful on the far side.
Gabby said, you guys might think I'm not in this game, but I'm going to have to exert my presence.
Lila Brooke back to serve for the Spartans. Brooke, just a freshman, making the varsity here at Doherty. And that blast by Versenar, a little bit long. 6-4 in favor of the Spartans.
There's Brooke right there. She almost touched that thing going across there.
And Simpson a little bit long once again. Contreras gets a break. Katie Sutton goes in for Palmer. 5 serving 6 as Hope steps back. Doherty really stretched out game number 1. And there's a hit through the block.
Very nice.
Doherty able to get over and pick it up. Nice set and a block by Simpson. What are you going to do? 6'3" is standing there.
Well, it's not just 6'3", partner. It's 6'3", very athletic, very knowledgeable about how to play the game. Of course, her 2 older sisters made sure that happened.
And there's an ace by Gabby Simpson, laid it right in front of Perry.
Oh, my.
Gabby Simpson's 11th ace, 10 coming in on 174 attacks.
Make it another ace, partner.
So Gabby Simpson trying to push her team ahead now. CSU, and among others, as this one is put down by Jarrett, with CSU and others interested in Gabby Simpson.
As well they should be, because she's going to play a little bit at that next level.
Tip by the Spartans, point to the Terrors. Simpson with the set to the far side. Dug out by Hope, nicely on the hit by Mayer. And into the back corner, Sydney Versenar pulls her team back within 2. Martins with the serve in the air. It'll be 10 serving 7 as Kelsey Snyder steps back, the junior. Difference in this team, Doherty just 4 seniors, and for Sergio Rangel, the Terrors, 10 of his 12 players are seniors. And that ball is a little bit long. Marilyn Mayer. Versenar with the serve, lines it up. Over to the far side, the set for Stoddy. Dug out nicely by Palmer. And there is the block. Mayer and Snyder got up and teamed it up.
Taylor Barrett was also in on that block, partner.
Rotation now as Brooke comes out. Back into the game for Terry Hiddle is Lindsey Porter. Set to this near side and a little bit too strong. They set up Kristen Moore. And the captain a little bit too strong. Back set a little out of position, so Sutton just has to push it over. Simpson with the set. Up to the net for the block was Porter. Didn't need to get up as it didn't quite make it over. And timeout for the Palmer Terrors as they trail 13-8 here in game number 2, and they trail by a game.
Some timeouts you understand and you know it's coming. Some timeouts you just you don't see coming. This was one of those for me. I don't feel this one's getting away from Palmer right now. I think they're playing pretty good, but Sergio Rangel, for some reason, wanted to talk to his team, and he's got a better pulse on his team than I do, so I'll defer to him on that.
There you see the scores. Spartans cheerleaders making a tumbling run from the north towards the middle of the floor during the timeout.
I can neither run nor tumble, partner, so that wouldn't be me out there. Oh, by the way, I was told that by some of the Palmer soccer players, men's soccer, that they tied yesterday, and if they beat Valor Christian tomorrow, they're in pretty good shape to get a playoff berth. So congratulations to those guys, and go get them, Terrors, tomorrow.
This ball out of bounds as Hoke has to dive to her left to make the hit. Point to the Spartans. And Chris Knoll passed on a little tidbit of information. The Spartans second in the league in cross country, losing by 1 point to Rampart. Palmer 3 points behind Doherty for third. So these two schools finishing second and third in the Colorado Springs Metro cross country. With that state tournament coming up.
That's a good job.
Simpson with the set. Stoddy with the block, gets it back, is able to pop it over. Now the cross set for Kristen Moore. To the outside, in under the net were the Terrors. So a good volley there, but it falls to the Spartans. 5 straight points now for the Spartans. Blocked by the Spartans. That was Porter. All the way across court. Now the cross court set once again. This time powers through the block. And the point for Kristen Moore. 5'9" senior. One of the captains.
What I like that I'm seeing from Palmerberry is there's no backing off. They're attacking, they're playing strong, they're challenging Doherty. They're going to make Doherty earn anything they get tonight.
The back set blocked and into the net on the follow through was Meyer for Doherty. Ten serving, 15 now. Not many serves for Katie Sutton, just one ace. But there is service error number 2 as the ball is a little bit long. Kaylee Businger, one of just 4 seniors, returning state champion on this team. Businger with the set, and not liking the way it was set was Lindsay Porter, but it looked pretty good. But Porter either mistimed it or didn't like the elevation on it on the quick set. Maybe he was expecting a little higher set.
She mistimed it, partner. That's what happened. There's another point for Palmer. She mistimed her jump.
Andrea Dell back to serve again for the Terrors. Oh, Dell with a great save in the back corner. Front and back set now. Dell with the set to Jarrett. Doherty scrambling just a little bit. Versenard, Dell, and into the back corner. 1, 2, 3. Brianna Contreras is back in the game.
What a nice shot that was, partner. She hit that right where she needed to. Beautiful shot.
Palmer down by 5 a minute ago, is pulled within 3. And Gabby Simpson with a lob shot in front of Sydney Versenar in that far right corner.
You watch Gabby Simpson play and you understand why they're the defending state champions with the kind of talent they have out there.
Again, Haley Washington not here tonight for the Doherty Spartans. She's on a recruiting trip to Penn State. And Jarrett a little bit low.
It would have been blocked anyway there. Simpson and one of her friends were right there at the net to repel that one.
Shania Jarrett in this first game and a half has been very impressive. She was a JV player last year, and talking with Coach Rangel, she's the sleeper on this team. She worked, she dedicated herself, and you can see the kind of player she is right now for this Terrors team.
Oh, I like the future for Palmer volleyball player. I tell you, Coach Rangel's got it going down there.
3 straight now for the Spartans. Oh,
that's going to be 4 hits.
Miscommunication, and Sydney Versenar takes one in the noggin.
Well, she was expecting Contreras to hit that over the net, and all of a sudden the ball came flying back in her direction.
Loading up and into the Palmer student section, a gift from Kristen Moore, but that ball will come back into play. 21-13. A 5-point burst just a minute ago for Doherty. And then another 5-point burst now has opened this lead to 8 in game 2. And Jarrett with a good hit and another kill. Jarrett coming in, 113 kills, second on the team only to Versenar.
The Doherty's at 21-14 now, but I believe it was 25-17 in the first game. Spartans trying to repeat the score.
Perry with the serve for the Terrors. Going to go off the top of the net. Ball a little bit long, point to the Spartans. And substitutions for the Spartans. Taylor Barrett back in on the front line defensively. And the block paying dividends with the insertion of Barrett.
Another freshman out there, Barry. Gina Barno.
23 serving 14. We've got a timeout. This one taken by Palmer, their second of the game here, as they trail by 9, 23-14 in game number 2.
Well, it's not too early, partner, to start looking ahead to the state tournament and think about the Spartans' chances of repeating. Haven't had a chance to see many of the teams in the state, but there are some challenging teams out there that the Spartans are going to have to defeat if they're going to defend this 5A championship. Palmer could be one of them. They could get into the playoffs. A nice strong finish would get them in there.
Well, Doherty opened up with Grandview in an impressive 3-2 win against one of the top teams in the Denver area. And they have that difficulty built into the lead of the schedule. And of course, they will close the season, as Rachel Wolf told us in the pregame show, at the Cheyenne Mountain Indians Invitational. And the block by Simpson and Barrett. Set to the near side and off of the antenna. It'll be point to the Terrors. So 23-15. So Doherty not shy to play the top teams to set themselves up and measure themselves constantly throughout the season.
I've always felt, partner, that if you want to find out how your team really is, go above what you think your competitive level is and then see how they handle it.
Versenar takes a low ball across the net, makes him pay.
For example, if I was coaching at the 4A level, I would play a few 5A teams. Because I want to see what happens when my team plays a team that's stronger than they are, how they react, how they adjust.
Hoke with the serve. Barrett with the cross-court blast, puts it down. Game point for game number 2 coming for the Spartans. Businger will check out and Meyer will check in. Meyer will take a place on that front line. Meyer and Barrett have teamed for a couple of blocks today, and Gabby Simpson with the serve. Simpson serves the outside through the double block. Barrett with a great serve. Unable to get it back into play. Andrea Dell made a great play on it, but that will be game 2. The Spartans with a 25-16 victory here in game number 2. We will switch ends of the floor, take a little bit of a break here, let the teams catch their breath, let the coaches talk a little strategy, and come back for what could be a third and final game. Another opportunity to let us remind you that if you'd like to own a copy of this or any of the exciting action here on the District 11 channel, we have 3 ways for you to do it. By email at channel16@d11.org, by phone at 520-2269, or you can order online. Log on to www.d11.org and click on the D11 on TV in the bottom quick link section. And then on the upper left-hand side, you will see the order form. And again, that is the feed to our same area for the tab for our web streaming. As you see the huddle of the Palmer Terrors after the wave of the Doherty student section.
Oh my, oh my.
Both principals in the house is Laura Disney walking over to join Dr. Nicholas Gleditch, the superintendent, and Dennis Vigil, the principal of the Spartans.
A lot of love in the gym tonight for a Palmer Doherty game, Barry. I'm getting a little nervous about this. The truth be told, this is a rivalry between these two schools, bar none. But these athletes respect each other. The coaches respect each other. And I think the fans actually take it more personal than the players do. Once these things are over and done with, these games are over and done with, they understand that for 32 minutes in basketball or 60 for football and whatever the time's going to be for the volleyball game, they understand that during that time, it's man on man or woman on woman, however you want to put it. But after the game is over and everything is settled, that's it, it's done. There's no more time to worry about that kind of stuff.
Some of the crowd on the far side watching the Spartans and the Terrors going at it. Well, we've got an extra minute or two. We'd like to invite you to join us for our next community book talk with District 11. We will be talking about the book, The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. I've just finished that read. It's a very entertaining read and enlightening when you put some of the concepts into play. So we invite you to pick up a copy, give it a read, and a couple of ways you can join us: by phone, via our social media, the District 11 Facebook page, and also you can join us at the administration building, 1115 North El Paso Street. And we will be in the boardroom. We will have a section set up for the community. We'd love to come down. We will have a panelist. I will be your host and moderator for the evening. And it is a very interesting book. It is called The Talent Code, once again, by Daniel Coyle. So we invite you to join District 11 in our community book talk. That is October 30th from 6 to 7:30. And it will be live here on the District 11 channel. Ready to start game 3 here in Sparta. And the Spartans up 2-1. Palmer opened the scoring to open the game, and then Doherty opened the scoring in game 2. So Palmer with the serve. Let's see who scores first here. And Gabby Simpson will hand the point to the Terrors as she is a little long, reaching for the back corner. Front line for Palmer is Cantrez, Strauss-Tallman. That front line cannot protect the back line there as Gabby Simpson with another kill.
And you know what else makes Gabby so effective, partner? She's left-handed. And you're so used to dealing with a right-handed player, it's hard to make the transition to dealing with a lefty.
Nice block at the net by the Terrors. Well, they're going to call 4 hits on the Spartans. Tara Hiddle instantly up going, wait a minute.
And they're going to talk about it because I don't think the floor referee saw that the ball did actually go across the net.
Kelsey Snyder with the final hit for the Spartans.
And let's see, they're going to give it to Palmer.
Wow. They're going to call 4 hits. Tara Hiddle wants an explanation.
Yeah, she'll get
one. She will get it there on the right side of your screen.
Not that she'll like it, but she'll get it. Not that she'll agree with it, but she'll get it.
Saw one of my old teachers entering the Doherty gym tonight, and just happens to be Tara's dad, Steve. Did not get a chance to talk to him, but great dig out of the net by Gabby Simpson. Bersinar is blocked by Simpson. Simpson and Porter teaming up. And substitution as Porter checks out, as does Sherman. Barrett back into the game and on the front line. Lila Brook. And this one's just in.
You can see.
Terrors with a 3-2 lead here.
You can see why Palmer's been successful this year, though, partner, in the way they're playing tonight.
Simpson just digs it over. And the back set in this one just a little bit long.
They are.
Palmer set Tallman. Now substitutions. Kylie Businger checks out and Erilyn Meyer back in. Tied at 3. Versenar powers it through the block, but dug out by the Spartans. And now miscommunication between Dell and Strauss-Tolman. And the Spartans regain the lead at 4-3. Versenar gets it across the net, but it's blocked back. They'll set her again. She'll go to the dink. This one's dug out. Now Gabby Simpson with the quick set. Dell pushes it over into the back corner. Far set on this side. And Snyder into the net. Four serving 4 here, second tie. And a little bit long off the arm of Meyer. Had a good set on this left side. Just not enough elevation to get a downward trajectory on that ball.
Tell you what, if you're in the front row here tonight, you got to be on the lookout because there's some bullets coming towards you.
And the unforced error by Strauss-Tolman. Martins checks back in for the Terrors. Dell with the back set for Versenar. Simpson will have to play it from the backcourt. Set Versenar again. And 4 hits on the Terrors. So now Doherty up 6-5. Snyder with the serve. Barrett with the backcourt attack. Not enough on it. Sergio Rangel wants timeout number 1 here in game number 3. As he trails by 2. We've seen him take timeouts on big Doherty runs. This one he wants to keep a little bit closer to the vest as this team is battling here in game 3, trying to force a game 4 and stave off 3 games sweep.
Doherty student session for tonight's Major League fight. We've got the heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Connor Smith.
Chris Murray's announcing something. I didn't hear what he said.
Heavyweight fight is the fight director on the floor and the student section reacting. And the knockout punch delivered, and down goes the student section. Down goes the student section. Down goes the student section.
Okay, Howard, okay. For those who don't know what we're talking about, look up Howard Cosell.
Back set to Versenar. Oh, she just missed the back line.
Let's see. We're going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it.
Looked like that ball missed by just about a foot, but not much more.
And they were going to come up with the flag to say out, and she didn't. So he wants to make sure. And they're going to give it. They're going to say it's out. Not sure we got a replay. And the Palmer fans are not quite in agreement with the call.
3 straight for the Spartans since we were tied at 5. And Palmer gets that one back on the back corner. Six serving, 8. Versenar back. She'll serve from the middle. Great attack by Stoddy on this near corner as it came over low. Simpson will set it all the way across, and Stoddy just a little bit quick on it into the net. A little too much down trajectory.
Yep. Tyler Hill giving us some words of encouragement over by the bench. Brooke misjudged the ball. Rolled up her arm, went out of bounds.
Tara Hiddle finally getting a chance to sit down and instantly brought up to talk to her young freshman, Lyra Brooks. And just pushed over as the set is too far back. Oh, what a rise up. And unable to get it. Great block. Stoddy had the hit. The block came from the Terrors. Emily Watson. So Palmer 4 straight, and they reclaim the lead at 9-8. Student sections enjoying themselves here tonight. As always in the Palmer-Doherty rivalry.
Having a little fun here in Sparta.
Dell tries to put it down. Simpson sends it back across the net and too deep. Hoke has to go to the ground for it and cannot come up with it. So the 5-point run for the Terrors is stopped. They still lead 9, serving 10. Barrett back to serve for the Spartans. Set across to Barrett, trying to paint the near line, and it will be out to the Spartans. Tie number 4 here in game number 3. And just our 7th tie of the match, partner. Usually these two go back and forth a little bit more than this.
Yeah.
Barrett gets it rejected by Meyer. And then the quick set for Lindsay Porter. And Porter is able to put it down. Doherty reclaims the lead with 3 straight.
Oh boy, what a shot, Barry. They got it right inside the line.
That was a reach and a prayer for Porter, and it falls through, and that puts a smile back on her coach's face. Been keeping an eye on Tara Hiddle. She was pretty jovial in the first 2 games while being intense, calling her action. But now a little more serious tone as she's looking for her team to close out the Terrors. And a great back cross-court set. And the kill this time put down by Meyer.
There's a smile again, but here's coaches aren't like regular people, Barry. Coaches regular people look at it and say, we're up 2 games to none. And we can relax a little bit in this game. That's what people say. Coaches say, I don't want to go to a game 4 if I don't have to. I want to get this over with now. That's the difference between the way a coach thinks and the way people think.
Looking back, Doherty has not gotten out without giving up a game, going all the way back to Heritage, which was the semifinal of the Cherry Creek tournament, and they turned around and lost the championship to Lakewood on that quick turnaround championship game. But since then, Chatfield got at least one game. Lewis Palmer got two. Cheyenne Mountain blanked them 3-0. Fossil Ridge only gave them one game, winning 3, and then the Rams got 2 the other night.
When the ground rules came into effect, partner, ball got stuck up in the overhead that separates the gyms during physical education time.
12 serving 13.
Oh, what a shot by Simpson.
Gabby Simpson goes up and guides one softly across the net. Kaylee Businger is checking back in.
Oh, Gabby, that's special. That's a good shot.
Spartans up 2. Businger pounding some of the air out of that ball. And confusion by Palmer. Point to the Spartans.
That was an aggressive play, and so you'll take that any day if you're a coach.
Businger employs the jump serve. They set Barrett. She tries for the cross corner. Now they set Simpson. She goes with the cross. Dug out nicely by the Terrors. And this one off the block is going to find the floor. Point for the Terrors. And that started with a great dig on the part of Micah Martins. And Martins will come to the bench, get a big low 5 from her coach.
Nice shot. What is that?
And the kill, just like tennis, it comes from that side, put it right back to that side.
Cantress did a good
And
job.
they caught him off balance. Cassie Sherman diving to her right, could not come up with it. And dealt with the unforced error, had a chance to tie this one back up at 15. The Spartans will take over, leading by 2, and Stottie with the serve. Backcourt attack for Versenar. Happy with the results of that hit. Terrors not going away, trailing by just 1 with a chance to serve for the tie.
Not at all, partner. And if you're Sergio Lango, you just like what you're seeing right now, because your team has not thrown in the towel. They're fighting with everything they've got to try to get to a 4th game.
Jarrett back to serve for the Terrors. And into the net was Businger.
Yeah, she got in there. Yeah, Sergio shook his head. Yeah.
And there, well, you had the floor official and the chair official both seeing into the nets on opposite sides. The one that was clear to me was Businger.
Yeah, well, I'm just the opposite of you, partner. I thought Palmer was into the net. They're going to replay it.
They're going to replay it, and I think that was a good decision. And Palmer section likes that decision. So 15 serving 16. Shania Jarrett. Coach calls her the most improved player on her squad for all the work she did in the offseason. And they called that one in, and then there was a reversal. So the corner flag official called it in.
It's on the opposite side, so we don't see it.
It was out. Now Tara Hiddle is going to get an explanation.
She didn't stay too long, so I guess she's okay with the explanation.
5th tie of the game. We are knotted at 16 here in game 3. Palmer with a win will send us to game 4.
That's what they're trying to do right now.
Sarah Hiddle up, cheering her team on. I think she's trying to loosen them up just a little bit too. She's being a little over-exaggerated on her distress. Draws a big laugh out of Kaylee Businger. Pass to Businger, quick set. Nicely dug out. Versenar blocked by Simpson. And the return is out of bounds. Point to the Spartans.
Let's give Lindsay Porter a little credit on that one too, partner. She was at that net too.
Sherman checks out. Barrett checks back in. Spartans serving 17-16. And Barrett with a desperate reach as she didn't get high enough on that one. They're going to call a carry on the Spartans.
Oh, yeah. And Tara Hiddle is
point.
saying,
Tara Hiddle is up and complaining and drawing a yellow card.
Oh, my. Oh, boy. Wow.
So a yellow card on Doherty coach Tara Hiddle. It's tournament time. These coaches have got to be very important coming down the stretch here. A suspension of a coach for a game could be crucial in seeding and their pool selection for pool play.
I was watching Coach Hiddle. Not sure I saw anything that would be deemed disrespectful, but obviously the official saw something he didn't particularly care for. Sometimes as an official, you sometimes got to understand the game you're calling also. And I'm not saying let coaches get away with anything. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to understand the intensity of the game and call the game based on that intensity and who's playing. Not sure that one was as bad as it turned out to be.
Simpson goes cross corner a little bit high and into the Palmer bench. Sergio Rangel watches it crash into his players to his right as he was trying to leap out of the way. 18-17 in favor of the Terrors. Versenar has it deflect off the net. That has got this Doherty student section up and looking for the tip call, but not going to get it are the Terrors.
And by the way, because Coach Hiddle got that yellow card, he has to sit now for the rest of this game.
Simpson with the serve. Palmer feeds Emily Watson, and the senior a little bit too strong. Spartans back in front.
If we do go to a fourth game, partner, I'll get a clarification as to whether she has to sit that one too. I don't think so, but I'm going to get a clarification.
Dell able to get it over. Doherty plays it back. Jarrett with the touch. Now a battle at the net.
Oh, nice shot.
That was Barrett and Watson doing battle. And Watson wins the battle this time. Tied at 19. This is what we were expecting coming in between these two. And Tara Hiddle wants a timeout here. Game 3, a chance for her squad to close out these Terrors in 3. They're playing without Haley Washington, who is back on the East Coast on a recruiting visit, and something happened with her flight. She was unable to get back to play in this game. Doherty, to recap, won the first game 25-17, won the second game 25-16 with late game spurts in the middle of the game. But this time they're unable to chase Palmer away. 19-19 is our score here in game number 3. Palmer trying to stave off elimination. We will get some information on the yellow card assessed to Terry.
Yeah. It was just what I thought. She has to sit this game, but if there was a fourth game, she's fine. She can get back up again.
Unforced error. Lead for the Spartans. 20-19.
Of course, Coach Hittle hopes there isn't a fourth game to worry about, so that's what she's hoping for right now.
Snyder with the serve. Dell with the back set to Versenar and off the deflection. Caught Rachel Staude a little off balance with the quick set and the dunk.
Very nice, very nice.
So Versenar will step behind the line, knotted once again at 20. Simpson sets this side to Staude, the block of Palmer, and point to the Spartans. And substitution as Brooke comes off. Lindsay Porter checks back in. Feed Jarrett on the far side. She sends one at Gabby Simpson that's too hot for Simpson to handle.
She said, Gabby, you sent enough over the net at other people that was too hot to handle. Let me see how you like your own medicine.
After having just 3 ties in the first 2 games, we have had 10 ties here in game number 3. Emily Watson, the 5'8" senior, back to serve for Palmer. Confusion as 2 Spartans collide. Simpson has to just lob it over. Kind of a lazy approach on the hit by Simpson, and it flies out of bounds. Palmer with the lead here, 22-21. Simpson with the set. And the dink. Oh, great job of digging it out by the Terrors. Watson. Jarrett with the reach.
Oh, my
And then the kill comes in, and Lindsay Porter puts it down.
No, they say it's in, and they're going to get a point to the Spartans.
Porter with the kill.
Goodness. What a nice volley. Sergio Rangel can't believe
Tied
it.
at 22.
Sergio can't believe it. He's just shaking his head.
Businger with the jump serve. Jarrett chases it to the bench, but cannot get to it. Spartans now within 2 points of match point. Oh, Businger with an ace. Lays it nicely in front of Martens on the far side. And now it is match point for the Spartans, and everybody on the far side rises up, and we have got a timeout called. This one called by Sergio Rangel and the Palmer Terrors as they face the brink of elimination. And the tumbling of Rachel Wolf, our student pregame host. Let's take a look at this.
Watch the end of this one, folks. Right. That's the first
that's
good
the
volley.
big
Now
save.
here's the shot. Right. Let's see. We'll go a little further.
Ooh, that does look to be out. Kind of tough at that angle.
It's tough from that angle, partner, but I do believe it hit the line. And if it hits the line, it is in.
Tough to tell from that shadow. Gabby Simpson puts the final nail in the coffin of the Palmer Terrors with an easy low ball at the net kill.
Sergio Rangel is saying she was over the net when she did it, but that'll fall on deaf ears. The Spartans will come out of here with a 3-love match set victory, partner.
And the first time since the 14th of September that they have taken care of an opponent without giving the opponent a single game. And they do it without Haley Washington to team up with Gabby Simpson. So a little bit of a character show for the Doherty Spartans, showing their coach that they've got a little bit to play for, although they stirred the ire of their coach just a little bit there. For my partner, Rachel Wolf and Walter Johnson, I am Barry Reed. We hope you enjoyed it, folks. 3 ways to order come up at the end of the credits. And watch for the replays. You can click on the D11 on TV link on the District 11 homepage. And on the upper left-hand side, you can get to the web streaming, the schedule, and the order form. Have a great night, everybody. It's the Spartans in 3.